Good morning, Rec Girls. Welcome to an episode of the Unemployed podcast. Bear with me, my voice is just coming back. It sounds crazy. Gray and I were both so sick. And man, she was off school all last week, except for one day. And then she only has 1 week left of school, and then it's just like 2 weeks at home. And then also, I have her all month right now and probably maybe even into January. And so we've been running. And so I actually decided that I need to let something go over this break. I have so many things on the go, and sometimes we just have to make that decision, right? As entrepreneurs, we want to do all of the things. We want to do all of our content. We want to do our podcast. We want to do a YouTube channel. We want to take care of our clients. We want to build new programs. We want to do another launch. Like we want to do all of the things. And I think that's just how we're built as people, honestly. Um, but because of just how crazy my schedule is going to be during a time where I was actually kind of planning to like chill and rest a little bit, I've decided, you know what? I'm gonna take a break. I need to take a break from something. I'm gonna let something go over the Christmas holidays, and I never normally make it the podcast, but I'm gonna make it the podcast this year just because I need to take that time, and also because I have a lot of stuff coming up for Unemployed and the Unemployed brand um in 2025, which is just going to be epic. We're going to talk a little bit about it in this episode. But I just have so many things coming down the pipeline that I actually kind of want to take a step back and just get really organized in my mind first, and just get really organized with where everything is going and what's happening and the timelines for everything and what exactly I'm bringing with all of the things. And so I thought it would just be a good time to kind of take a little bit of a break from the podcast for the rest of December, and then we're going to be coming back in January. But I wanted to take this episode and really let you know and just really give you a list of the things that I'm going to be working on for the remainder of the year, in hopes that, I feel like this can be, for a lot of people, it can be a really weird time of year for entrepreneurs where it's like, I feel like I'm supposed to rest, but also this is the time where everyone's resting. So, like, I can get so much work done. And so I wanted to give you a list of the things that I'm going to be doing in hopes that that can kind of help you figure out, in case you're feeling that unclarity, where you can be focusing as well. Hopefully, it just gives you a little bit of an idea list. And if not, then it's just something fun to listen to sometimes. I love listening to other people's business plans and what they're doing, and I like being a little bit snoopy. So hopefully, either way, this is going to be a beneficial episode for you. So, right now, recording this, we are in mid-December, and I am going to really be taking off. Like with my clients, every single year I take off usually from the 18th until that first full week back in January. And so this year it's going to be December 18th until January 6th, I think, is when I'm going to be coming back. That's when we are full swing and in full swing of things again. Um, and a lot of things are going to be happening. So for 2024, I'm going to really be, number one, tying up a lot of the loose ends that I have. So I have, we just have those little things, those projects that we've been working on, some stuff with team, getting in some last team meetings, like things like that. I'm going to really be tying up, making sure everyone kind of has their path to finish out the year and really get started for 2025. Tie up my loose ends project wise. I have a couple of things. Well, I mean, a million things all over the place right now. So I'm going to really be working to tie those things up. Another thing that I'm really going to be doing is, I feel like I'm kind of late doing this. I feel like normally I do this earlier, but I need to still go over my financials with my bookkeeper for 2024 and just kind of like look at it. I have not even looked at anything really. I just feel like I've been running. So I really need to just kind of tie things up with her, look at my financials for 2024, and then that's also going to help me really help with my planning for 2025. Again, I feel like I'm doing this so late. I've done a lot of my 2025 planning, actually, like basically my entire year of 2025 is planned to an extent, right? Just the like where we're doing what launches are happening, what's going on for 2025. That's all planned. I usually do that pretty far in advance, like quarter three. But I haven't actually gone in and looked at like the nitty-gritty of financial and what that has to look like and what my goals specific are for that. So once I go over financials with my bookkeeper, and kind of wrap those things up, then the next step that I like to do is I like to go in for 2025 and look at what my launch plans are, the ones that I usually come up with in quarter three of the previous year. So like around October of this year is when I would have done that. Then I like to go in and I actually like to plug in numbers. So it's not just like plans of launches, it's the actual numbers and what are my number goals, and then really reverse engineering my number goals and looking at, okay, so if I want to make this much per quarter, what does that mean per month? What do I have to be hitting? Where do I need to fill in gaps? That kind of thing. So I like to get very, very strategic that way. Um, which bonus, if you're going to be an expand client of mine in 2025, this is something that we will definitely be doing with you as well. If you have not applied for expand yet, definitely go do so. We're going to be really kicking things off in January, and there is an option to just put down a deposit right now if that's something that you really want to do. If you want to lock in your spot, but you're like, you know what, Christmas is coming up. I don't know if I can make my first full payment, whatever it might be. You can put on a deposit to secure your spot for expand, and then start with us in January. So little side note there. And then the next thing is I have two really big new things coming down the line for 2025 with my brand. One of the things being I am bringing events and actual live experiences to Unemployed, which is something that if you've been around for a while, you know, I've just been like, even as a fitness coach, I tried to plan my very first weekend, like weekend retreat, luxury retreat as a fitness coach, locked everything down, had the private chef, had the venue, everything, and then COVID hit. And then, um, everything else that kind of happened after that. You guys know all the shit that happened in 2021 and 2022. And my beautiful, beautiful daughter coming and just all of the things. It was just a crazy time from COVID to now. That there had been a couple of times to actually, or a couple of plans in those years to do live events. And it's always been something that I've just wanted to do. And now finally is the right time. And I'm actually really glad that it did wait, because the things and the concepts that I'm going to be bringing to these live events now are things that I just would never have done before, because I was just such a different person. I just didn't really have that capacity, and I didn't really know the things. And so you'll see what is coming down the line, but I am so excited for that. And if you're listening to this in real time, actually, I guess I can talk about the first one, because if you're listening to this in real time, today is the day that we're announcing it. So the first one is actually going to be happening in February of 2025. And this is the Unemployed dinner experience. And I am, oh my God, I just like, it's been something that has been such a passion. Like I would sit and just, you know how like you get really cozy on the couch and you just like have your iPad out or your notebook and you just start writing all the dreams that you want for your business and like all the little things you want to do. This was one that I've wanted to do for so long that I've just been like planning in my head and in a million notebooks that I have laying around of what it's going to look like. And I am going to be hosting this with my friend Amy, who's also my somatic therapist, and just like this light in my life lately that I'm so glad that it waited until now, because if it didn't, then I wouldn't have had her in my life. And why it's so special with her is basically how this dinner experience is working. And the purpose of this is it's really to bring entrepreneurial women together. And and not in the classic networking way that we're so used to. Like for me, when I did networking events, it just never felt right to me. Like I would go into the event and it would just be really bright lights, or like maybe it'd be dim, but everyone was just dressed up. Like you could like really, really, really dressed up, which is fine. Dressing up is fine, not knocking it, but everyone was really dressed up, really putting like, their presentation self forward. People had business cards. Everyone would mingle in like little small groups of three circles. And then they felt pressured to go to another circle and then another circle. And you just kind of felt that pressure to work the room. Everyone had their like little wine cup or their wine in like a little plastic cup. And the conversation was just so surface level and like, oh, so what do you do? Oh, I do this. Oh, very cool. And you're kind of like looking for the next circle to go to. Like that's my experience of networking events for the most part. Not like the bigger, really amazing events that I've gone to, like women's entrepreneur events that I've gone to, but like just like the ones that are around your city, right? And the thing is with business, even if you have an online business like I do and like so many of you do, it's still so important to get into the room and to actually meet people because a lot of the times your best collaborations or even your best next business partner come from in-person connections, come from people that you've actually met because there's nothing like actually meeting the person and it just speeds up that relationship. And usually what happens is you end up just really being a support for each other throughout your business and you start collaborating and you mingle audiences and just so many beautiful things happen from when you actually meet someone. And so that was my experience of networking that I know it was important and I knew it was important, but I never actually wanted to go to them. And so what ended up happening was I went really ham and went to a lot of them in the beginning of my business. And then I just like slowly stopped because I'm like, these are draining. Like, I don't like going to them. I don't look forward to them. It just kind of feels like a thing that you have to do. And so when I came up with this unemployed dinner experience, how we're really going to be doing it is it's going to be such a small, intimate setting, and it's going to be with people you would actually hang out with in real life. And why I say this is because we're not just doing like a dinner. So when you walk into this room, it is going to be moody. It's going to be candlelit. There's going to be a long table. It's going to have all of our vibe. It's going to be very dark, black plates, black cutlery, long candles, so moody. And the dress code, it's such an elevated vibe. You're gonna feel like when you walk into the room, you're just at your next level. It's gonna feel just so elevated, which I think is so important for embodiment and really stepping into that version of yourself that you want to be, right? That version of yourself that goes to dinners like that goes to these upscale events. But the dress code is going to be your favorite, most coziest, most luxurious sweatsuit. And I love that because it takes a barrier down. It takes the barrier down of having to really feel like you have to present to yourself. And even though, again, dressing up is fun, like we like to do it, but with this type of event, because what we're really aiming for here is to make it such a place where you just feel like you're hanging out with your best friends, right? Like you're very connected. When you sit down at the dinner table, you're going to be sitting there the entire time. You're not going to be moving around, which with normal networking events, you're really trying to work the room. Our goal and our purpose for this event is for you to just make 1 to 2 really good connections. There's going to be little conversation cards on the table. You can use them. You don't have to, but if you want to use them, you totally can. And I actually encourage people to use them because the conversation cards that we have on there, the prompts are really to spark deep conversation and something that I know everyone wants to talk about and something that is just going to really help you make the connections. So you're really going to be sitting there. There's not the pressure to mingle. We're going to have a really nice private chef dinner, really super yummy mocktails. I'm so excited for. I got the menu the other day and for the mocktails. And after dinner, we're all going to shift gears, and Amy, my friend that I am hosting this with, a beautiful, amazing, amazing woman who is just so talented in what she does. She has like changed my life, I swear. She is just unbelievable. She is going to be leading us through a private ceremony, and I don't know exactly what she has up her sleeve. I told her this is totally your thing because she's just amazing. For those of you who don't know, Amy is my somatic therapist. She does energy work with me. She's the one who has led all of the sister circles and women's circles and full moon circles and things that I like to go to. She has done some like insane energy work with me that I've never experienced anything like it. I'll have to do an entire episode on it, I swear, because it was just absolutely life-changing, so confirming, just like wild. It was wild. And she's so talented. And so she's going to be leading a really, I know, going to be beautiful, beautiful ceremony. And it's really going to be focused towards entering that next level version of yourself and really just embodying that person that you want to be. And I love the timing of this. I love that it's in February, just really at the beginning of 2025. And it's just going to be a vibe. And then you're also going to be leaving. Amy and I are really going to be working with some contributors and really finding some things that we personally really love for just everyday ritual, for entrepreneur rituals, for just having like spiritual rituals, just for things to have for your home. We're going to curate some really amazing gift bags for everyone as well. So it's just, again, it's not a networking event. Just a networking event. It's not just a dinner. It is truly an experience that you're just going to feel so comfortable in, and you're going to make really great connections. And it's just something that you would want to go to, even if it wasn't a business thing. But the beautiful thing is, every single person who's there is going to be an entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur, just really ambitious woman. And those are the people that you want to surround yourself with when you're in business. And so if you even feel like you're a little bit lonely in this entrepreneurial world, or like your normal friends and family just don't really get it, or they don't have the same aspirations as you, this is just going to be the perfect place to meet those connections and to really just start forming your circle for business and really start forming your sisterhood, your business sisterhood. So that is coming in February. If you're local to the Okanagan here in British Columbia, Canada, then definitely come, because that's where it's going to be. Or even if you feel ambitious and you're just like, I would love that vibe, I want to come fly in. I love when people travel, and I would love to meet you guys as well. So that is happening February 15th. I will leave the link for that in the show notes as well so that you can check it out. And then lastly, I am going to really be doing a lot of planning for another offer that I have coming either at the end of January or early February. I'm going to decide this after my meeting with my bookkeeper, and obviously after I like really dive into more of my planning, I'll decide. But it's going to be one of those times, and it's something that I just know you are going to love. I know that it's something that is so needed. It's been something that's just a long time coming. I mean, I won't say too much on it yet, but what I will tell you is, if you have followed my journey or know anything about my journey, you know that everything I've scaled my entire business through group program membership models. That is my passion. That is what I thrive in. I am just such a vibe curator. You can, which really is like goes hand in hand with why I want to do events as well. I just love bringing groups together, and I love being able to really curate a vibe, which is why I'm so excited to be doing the live events, because that truly is like completely being able to curate a vibe but do it in person. But then also what I love about group program membership models is you do the same thing, but you're also doing the tactical side of business, which is really the strategy and all the things, which those two things are my favorite. I love community, and I love growing through community with very scalable offers and being able to teach that to people. So that is all I will say. The other thing I will say is it's going to be a very affordable entry point, and something that you are able to just really stay and grow in. It's going to be so valuable. And I'm really busy behind the scenes, really bringing that to life. And I will definitely be talking more about it in January. But for now, that is what I will say. And that is what I am working on for the rest of 2024. I feel like after doing this episode, I'm like, holy shit, that actually seems like a lot because my other plan was really to rest. But those of you who have a toddler, you know, who also doesn't nap half the time, you know that rest is like a very loose word. So, and because I have her all of December and probably into January, and she's out of her little school, I think that rest is, yeah, I think that's going to be I think this might just be a pretty busy Christmas holiday, which is completely okay. I'm excited to spend it with her and excited to have her home and just do little adventures with her. So I don't know if this was helpful for you. Maybe it sparked some ideas of some things that you could do, or maybe it was just fun kind of tuning out and getting to hear the behind the scenes. But that is it for the episode. And also, that is it for the podcast for 2024. So I love you guys so much. Thank you again for supporting this podcast and just really being here with me. I am so excited to just bring such a new energy in 2025, and we are just bringing it. We're bringing it. We're really honing in. I have felt like sometimes as well, this is just like what's on my mind right now. I feel like sometimes with business and like what I do specifically, it can just feel very broad, but I think you're going to notice a little bit of a change in 2025 of things are just going to get a little bit more specific. And I'm really excited to just keep doing this with you and be here with you and hang out with you for 2025 when that rolls around. So I love you guys so much. Again, if you're interested in the dinner experience, go to the link in the show notes and grab your ticket. We are on early bird right now. And then regular pricing hits January 1st, I believe. So grab your ticket on early bird. Again, the seating is also limited just because of the type of event it is. Again, it has to be very intimate and we want it to be very intimate. So spots are limited. Grab your ticket if it sounds like something that is up your alley. And I will see you in 2025. I love you.